everybody, and welcome back to How Did You Get There? Yes, I know I've taken the time off. Guys, I needed a break, but I'm back, your girl Percy, Magaya here. So today I'm joined with an amazing guest. I'm not going to go into detail about him yet. I just want to make sure that you guys have been good. Please make sure that you watch the previous episode we did in seasons 1, 2, and 3. And we're also on Play Africa. So this is amazing for us. However, we're back, okay? So today I am joined by the amazing Bells. He's incredible, guys. He inspires me. I've been watching his journey for a while now, and I've seen his growth. And I said, I have to have him on the show because I've seen his growth. I've seen his journey. And honestly, what a way to bring back How Did You Get There with the one and only Bells. So, Bells, welcome to the show. Hi.
It's good to be here.
Oh my God, I'm excited. I don't think you understand. I'm like a big fan. I'm sitting next to Bells. Honestly, I've watched your journey. I've seen you grow, and I'm excited to have this conversation with you today because I believe that our viewers can definitely benefit from you. But before 100%. We go into detail about what you do, can you please introduce yourself to the viewers? Tell them, who Bells is, what you do, briefly, not too much detail, because we want to get into that later on in the show.
All right, so my government name is Yusuf, but everybody calls me Bells or Premium Bells. I'm from East London. That's where I grew up, in a little town called Custom House, and yeah, I used to play football. This is what a lot of people don't know. I used to play football at a good level. And what I do currently now, before I got into what I do now, I used to work in recruitment, so that's what I was doing full time.
Do you know what? We are both coming from the recruitment industry.
You used to work in recruitment as well?
I've been there as well.
So I've done recruitment for a few years, which went okay. But now I'm in an entrepreneurship space within trading, investing, and I've built a mentorship platform as well alongside that. Yeah.
That's amazing. So wait, let's go back. So you grew up in a small town, which I didn't even know about because I'm not from London, even though people always assume I'm from London, right? I'm not from London. So this small town, how small is this town?
Custom House is small, man. It's it's...
I've never heard of it before.
You've never heard of it?
No.
Not many people have. It's close to Canning Town.
Okay. I'm going to pretend like I know where Canning Town is as well. Where's Canning Town close to?
Stratford.
I know where Stratford is. That's where the Westfield is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I know where that is. I'm very, I'm well versed. So we have Yusuf today, and we're really going to dive into your story because one thing about this show, we're not trying to find role models. We want real models. And I believe that you have that story that's truly real and authentic and inspiring. And just seeing where you are now, which, guys, I can't wait for you to hear what he's been through. Just seeing where you are now, for me, it gives me hope that no matter what I go through, I can become. I can also achieve. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I want to just get back. You talked about investments, right? I know you worked in recruitment we don't want to talk about that because, recruitment is not why we're here.
Yeah, no way.
But let's talk about your business. So when did you get into the investing and the trading? Because I've been a bit wary about trading. I'm not going to lie. I have had a moment that I've tried it. Maybe it was the wrong people. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
That's like with most people.
Yeah. So give me your journey into it because I feel like I just want to really understand a bit more in depth why you stuck with it.
Okay. So I've been trading for about 3 years.
Okay.
So since 2018, right? And honestly, the reason why I got involved, I just wanted to make more money.
Okay.
The amount of money I was making at work was only enough for me to look after myself. And I've always wanted to be able to just give back to mum. So it was literally just to make more money.
That just warms my heart.
It was literally just to make more money. And for me, above being able to do that, it was the freedom, the flexibility to be able to make money from home, from your laptop. And wherever you are around the world, you're able to generate money once you know what you're doing, once you learn the skill set.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. So it's about the skill set, I'm guessing you're talking about, learning and then doing.
Yeah, learning how to consistently make money for the markets, and then actually being able to do it as well.
Okay. So, no, because I know there's a lot of stigma around that. Trading,
there's
Forex, DMs.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Do you want to come, and learn how to...
I got lucky, to be honest. I got lucky because I got introduced to mentors that have the actual results.
Okay.
A lot of my mentors, they've made over $10 million in a year trading. So these are people that are actually making real money.
Okay.
Where there is a lot of people on social media that don't really know what they're doing,
Yeah.
but they're just trying to make a quick
Quick
buck
bug.
out of people. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and I think that's where the problem is when it comes
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Talk,
So, yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. So you got into trading, and you've done it for a year, I'm guessing. Now you're
No, I've been
2018
trading for 3
years, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you've
yeah.
traded for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then when did you start to see the results of trading? When did you start to see them?
Within my first 4 to 6 months, when I started making more than what I was making in my job.
Okay.
And then I left my job after like 4 months. of
Lord,
trading,
child.
yeah.
Anyone who's employed listening to this, they're probably saying, can you help me? Because I'm so tired of waking up, even though I'm working from home.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay? And I get that sometimes. I get this sometimes. I'm tired. I want more money. But I feel like there's just so much that is on the table for people. Make money this way, make money that way. It's like, which one is the real one? I think that's where the problem is. And part of the reason I've got the show, so like people are like, they're afraid. Like I'm not just gonna invest in just anything because that's my hard-earned money from 9 to 5.
But that's the problem. Because
in what sense?
If you were to tell someone to spend $2,000 on a holiday, people would be happy to do that.
Because it's a holiday.
But you don't make money from holiday. But if you say invest $2,000 into something that can make you $100,000, then people get skeptical. It's just a mindset thing.
Do you feel that maybe because we didn't have financial education growing up?
That's the real honest truth. It's like the school system, it teaches us how to be good employees, which there's nothing wrong in that, but you have to recognize that if you want to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So when I started studying entrepreneurship and reading books, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, that one was a big one, Cash Flow Quadrant, I started realizing entrepreneurs think a little different to how most people think. And entrepreneurs are first to invest. Like that's the first thing they do with their money.
They're risk takers.
You have to take risk. There's calculated risk, but you have to take risk to get reward.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. And I know you are one because I've watched your growth. There's no way you can get to where you are without taking any risks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all calculated, but yeah, there's an element of risk, yeah.
And I'm hoping to become like you, but we're going to talk about that. I'm hoping to become like you. So I want to just quickly pause on that, right? Because I know people already know about, there's so many people hearing difference when it comes to Forex and trading and the whole shebang, which we're going to, of course, we're trying to educate them from your perspective. However, the main reason I said I want Bells on my show was because you in 2020 encountered, some may call it, it's like a stop, a pause, reevaluate life moment, right? And then you had to pick up from wherever you left, because you had to leave everything behind and then pick it up again. And within 9 months, is it 9 months or
About
6
9
months?
months.
Within 8 months, we'll say 8 months, you are now a 6-figure earner. Like you're making six figures, ladies. Like I'm a gent. Like you're making this money. And I'm like, wait a minute, you ain't early 2020, that wasn't your reality.
No, it wasn't. It was
2021, that's your reality. So I want to know and understand. I'm not mentioning what happened because I want you to, that's your story to tell.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us to what happened? Because for me, I look at it and I'm like, damn, what's my excuse? Because I've not been through what you've been through. So what's my excuse? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why am I still procrastinating? Why am I still lazy? Why am I still not making it happen? Because you made it happen within 8 months. Talk on that. Like, I'm gonna sit back because I need to learn a little bit.
For those that are wondering what you're talking about, I went to prison, right? So before getting involved in trading, I was involved in some things that I shouldn't have been involved in, put it that way. And when I got involved in trading, that was a lifestyle that, was probably like now about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But it caught up to me, if that makes sense. So basically when I started trading, I left that lifestyle alone and things were going pretty well. And then about 10 months into me trading, building my business, learning how to invest, I just got a knock on the front door from the boys in blue. And And yeah, so they took me to the station, and at this point I didn't know what it was, because it was so long ago that I was thinking like, you know, what's all this commotion about? And if I'm honest, I thought, because there's a few times my door's been booted down for things that wasn't me,
Okay.
but just been in a wrong location at the wrong time
Yeah.
and stuff. So I just thought it might have been, I don't know, a fight that broke out somewhere where I was, sort of thing. And then they started mentioning what I was involved in. And it's not that serious. I wasn't like selling drugs or nothing like that. But when I asked my lawyer, like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? Like, hit me with it. What are we looking at? And she said, like, she didn't want to tell me. And I was like, just hit me with it. I'm a man, let me deal with it.
Just tell me, do you know what I'm saying?
Just hit me with it. And she's like, it's hard to tell, but you could be looking at up to 5 years. And then I was just like, whoa, like I froze. So so that was the situation. So for about 1.5 years, I had to keep like building my business. I had to keep trading, keep, you know, focusing on my investments whilst dealing with this. And that 1.5 years, like, was probably the most difficult period. Yeah, that period was hard, yeah.
They come to your door,
Yeah.
knock down your door.
Yeah, they took all my stuff as well, man.
And in that moment, what were you thinking? Because you're currently a black man in London, you know what I'm saying? And that there's so many stories when it comes to this.
Yeah.
But in that moment, what are you thinking? Like, okay, when you find out about you might go away for 5 years, what's your thought process?
The first thing was my mum. That's what I thought about first of all. Because up until, well, yeah, at that moment, I was mainly the provider for the household. I was living with my mum.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, if I go away, I had goals to retire my mum as well. So like, if I go away, like, you know, what's gonna happen? I have siblings, but you know, I put that on myself to be the provider. So that was my biggest worry. Then it was, you know, I built a reputation in the community for what I do. So I'm thinking, what's everyone gonna think? Because nobody knew my past.
That's it.
Before I got involved in trading, nobody knew my past. They just knew I used to work in recruitment, but they didn't know, you know, about my past. So it's like, in that sort of industry, when you're a leader, it's like, that's something you're gonna worry about. And then of course, I was like, I'm gonna come out when I'm in my 30s. I was thinking,
Lord have mercy.
I was like, yeah, I had a lot of emotions going through my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, your mum, you keep mentioning it a lot. Like, I was thinking about my mother in regards to like what's gonna happen, because I'm trying to retire her. But let's go back to the moment when, of course, this is something that you did, and you of course paid for it, right? But I know growing up in London, because I've known you through one of my good friends, right? And just seeing the lifestyle that you guys have achieved now, when I look in social media, it's like, wow, you guys are living large. You guys are living it up. So I remember the moment when you guys went to prison. Because there's a time I was trying to, because you guys, we'd become friends. I was like, where am I? I'm trying to call you, and there's no answer. And then my mom, what the hell is happening? Then I found, of course, the story that was happening, because it was all over. And I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah.
How? And for me, that moment, I say to myself, what's going to happen to what they've built? The reputation. What are the people going to say about them? Because you've built a brand, right? You guys were on a journey of building a brand, and then this happened, and this came across you guys. And I'm like, what's going to, because Rodney, he is one of my close, and I'm like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
What? Do you know what I'm saying? In my mind, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Then I remember when you came out, you called me to really explain everything. But in that moment, I was thinking, when you guys were away, I realized something, that if you build a strong foundation in whatever you're doing, regardless of what you're going to encounter, because I watched when you guys came out, you just picked it up. The people that you have, the loyalty from your people, it was just if like you never went away. And that's the part where I want to sort of focus on, because I feel like sometimes people sort of, we make mistakes. I've made so many mistakes in my life. Maybe they didn't even let me in prison, because I am afraid of breaking the law, okay? I'm afraid of prison. So my mistakes might not be like, you know, worthy of prison, but there's still mistakes. But sometimes what happens is when you're making mistakes, or maybe you've got mistakes in the past, and you're trying to focus on the future. Let's say maybe I'm trying to be, for example, doing the TV shows, the talk show host. And I'm like, but what would they say about me? And that sort of holds you back. You're like, I don't want people to be like, oh, what are they gonna say? And I'm like, and that holds you back. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
they're gonna know about my reputation. They're gonna know about my mistakes. They might not want to either buy from me or work with me or be associated to me. So that becomes a block. How did you break that block? Because where you are now, within 8 months after coming out of prison, there's no way it's possible for any person to just come and be like, okay, boom, that's the next thing, I'm just going to go for it. How did you get to that place mentally to say, I'm breaking the block?
Luckily, like way before I went in, I've always, the last 7 years, I've always studied like the mindset, like belief, faith, entrepreneurship. I've always studied successful people. And one book that I really like have to give it up to is a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, I've heard
Like,
about that book.
a lot of people have heard of that book, but not many people studied it.
Of course.
Like I've studied that book to a point where I could read certain chapters with my eyes closed, right?
Wow, okay.
Like legit, I could do that. And it teaches you how to think a certain way. And one thing I started understanding about people is no one's perfect. And people don't really buy into anyone that tries to be perfect because that's not relatable. So I didn't know what to expect, I won't lie. I was a bit cautious of how I'm gonna let people know.
Yeah.
But then I just said, you know what? When I was in, like nobody knew what happened, but I was gone for a few days. And I just told my brother, I said, gave him a post to my Instagram, and I just said, make a post, just so everybody knows. Because I said, when I went in, I said, I'm not gonna hide. I'm not gonna shy away.
You're gonna be a real model.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
This is why
I'm gonna be
you're
real
on the
about
show.
it.
Come on.
So I told him to post.
Yeah.
Also, my mum was upset because she's prideful.
She's mama.
Of course, that's mum. But I said, the way I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna use my journey to just inspire people, because I knew that one day this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna document the process. So even when I came out, things were bad, because I was like, I ended up in debt because my income went, bills. But I documented the process because I knew this was gonna happen. Like there's videos of me when I'm coming out documenting the whole process, me saying that this is gonna happen. So it's just that level of belief. If you know where you're gonna be, then your current situation, it doesn't really matter.
So you're out of prison.
Yeah.
You've been released.
Yeah.
You've met your family. You've been celebrating.
Yeah.
And then you come back to your business, and this is late 2020.
This was in like mid 2020.
Mid 2020. So you're out.
July times.
That's it. You're out. Now you're faced with your business. I wanna know the growth process, because one thing is, cause I'm trying to pinpoint on the bounce back.
Okay.
I want to pinpoint on the comeback, because we all have fallbacks, but there's always a comeback moment. I want to know how you did that. How did you come back, and how did you bounce back? Because now within 8 months from being in debt, let me repeat, from being in debt to earning 6 figures, like you're a 6-figure, and I know you're going to be 7 figures within a matter of months. But can you talk to me about that? Because I'm trying to get that. I feel that mindset is so important. I faced adversity. I faced my downfall. I've paid my debt to whatever I did. But I'm not allowing that to hold me back. I'm allowing that to become a lesson. Now I've learned. Now let me become. Do you see what I'm saying? So talk to me about that, because
it started from going inside, right? One thing I've learned before I went in is the habit of gratitude, right? Which is powerful. Like the two most powerful emotions is love and gratitude.
Okay.
So even way before I went in, I learned this. So whilst I was going to court, because when I was on trial, I was going to court every single day, but nobody knew. So I was like 9 to 4, I was in court, and I'm trying to build my business outside of those times and whatnot. But through the whole process, I was practicing love and gratitude. I was just finding little things to be grateful for. And that emotion, it puts you on a certain frequency that most people are not on. So when I went inside, I remember I was on a coach going to the prison, and I kept remembering this quote for some reason. It kept on ringing in my head. It was from Think and Grow Rich. It said, every adversity brings with it the seed of an equivalent benefit.
Okay.
Right? So the whole time I was thinking, how can me going to prison be a benefit? Right? Like
where? How?
Right? I was thinking how, but you gotta remember, it's not every adversity is not a guaranteed benefit. It's a seed. So with a seed, it's something you have to water. You have to, it has to germinate, it has to grow.
Okay.
So I was thinking, okay, how can I benefit from being in prison?
Okay.
And the first thing was, I've got 23 and a half hours a day just in a room to myself. No internet, no mobile, like no communication. So it's like...
That sounds hard.
Yes, it's like, what do you do with that time? So basically the benefit was time. It's like, what do I do with that time?
Yeah.
Right? And so I just set like a whole day schedule. I used to meditate for at least 2 hours a day.
Wow.
I used to read for about 4 hours a day. I writ out my whole, like what I want from my whole life.
Come on.
Like mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, and also financially. I literally writ out a roadmap for everything that I want. So the benefit was I wouldn't have that much time to do that if I was out. But it was difficult because I learned from my mentors that your environment shapes who you are. So the environment that I was in was not conducive to where I want to go. I was in a jungle.
But you made that become a place that could shape who you are.
Yeah, and that had to be, I had to use my imagination a lot. I had to meditate a lot. Because I was in this environment, but I had to like meditate as if
you were
outside.
And that comes now to that place where I think I've heard you say on this before about visualizing. And that's something that's been a part of your life, like visualizing the life you want. Imagining, what you want to have. And I know like there's so many people, like even this, the is it the book of laws or something about the laws where you visualize and it becomes, and sometimes it sounds nice, but it doesn't sound real.
Okay.
So when you talk about I was in prison and I was visualizing what I want to become, because you wasn't in a place that was conducive to what you were trying to become.
Yep.
But you had to visualize within that place to become.
Yeah.
So can you explain a little bit about that? Because I want to understand exactly what you mean.
It's so the lifestyle that I want to live, the home I want, the car I want, the girl that I want, right? Literally the
woman that you want.
The woman that I want, right? The food I want to be eating, the place I want to be going, all of these things, the person that I am, I had to just visualize it. So I used to just close my eyes every morning, every night, and I should just visualize me being on holiday, me retiring my mom, all these things. And then you start getting a feeling, because what it is, whatever you start thinking about governs the way you feel, right? And how you feel governs your actions. Okay. And the actions you take governs the results you get. Okay. So if you start learning how to think right, you start feeling different, you start taking different actions, and then your results are different.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from with that. Because I was saying sometimes we hear so much of that and it just sounds like fairy tales.
Yeah, it sounds cliche, but
yeah, very much
stuff
cliche.
Does work. Stuff does work.
But it works. It worked for you. Okay.
Yeah, and it does work.
Before we talk about where you are now, can we just address or just talk to some of the young men that are watching and probably seeing the lifestyle that you have, and they're like, I want that lifestyle, but they might not get it in the same means you have it, because there's a quick rich quick
money
schemes. So you've been there. I can't speak to them because I've never been there before. So can you talk to them in regards to the right way and not having to fall in the same path that you had to fall in, having to go to prison, then coming back out, then rebuilding, because they don't have to do that.
Yes, it's the environment that you grew up in. So where I grew up, making money fast in the wrong ways was kind of normal. So when we was doing what we was doing, we didn't actually know that we was doing anything wrong. And then when I had a proper realization was when we went inside, we was able to see what happens to you, right? When you go down that route. And we just saw it was just a cycle. We saw 40-year-old men speaking like 18-year-olds. And we just knew that we wasn't meant to be there, right? It's crazy because we already kind of learned our lesson and moved on from that lifestyle anyway, but we kind of just got brought back for what we done in the past. But it just gave us even more of a realization that we don't belong here, man. Like that fast money route. But the crazy thing is you can make fast money the right way. That's what people don't realize.
Where is it? Tell me. Teach me.
You can make fast money the right way.
I want fast money the right way because, child, I want to be on holiday somewhere sipping on some wine, living large.
No, the biggest thing is being around the right people, around the right conversations at the right time. Most important things.
Do you know what? Every time you say something, I feel like I have to stop and pause and listen and digest. And that's one of your qualities, I realized. Like you have this leadership quality where people have to stop and listen. And it's amazing because you're leading an amazing group. But I need secrets on how you is making that 6 figures, because my bank account is telling me it should be my account.
Do you know what's the funny thing? Everyone keeps asking me, like, how does it feel now? And I'll be honest, I still feel broke. Because...
Wait. If you feel broke...
this is the honest truth. This is the honest truth because...
What should I feel?
The honest truth is because, like, I've been working on my mindset so much that I'm built for millions. Minimum. Right? That's how I feel. Like, because like I said, what you pour into your head, right, controls the way you think. So I've been pouring this into my head. I feel like I'm supposed to be a millionaire. Okay. So I'm not comfortable making multiple 6 figures. Does that make sense?
I feel. I need to go to my bank and tell them this. I feel that I'm a millionaire. Please.
But that's when you know it's done. When you feel.
But it's the work you've done to get there, and it's possible for you to believe that because you know that you can achieve that because you're doing the work. Yeah. And it's easy for people to want that without having to do the work, and they're like, it's hard because you're not doing the work to get there. Yeah. You've done the work.
The biggest thing is you need a vehicle that can get you there. Where I was working in my job, you can't make that sort of money. So no matter how hard I was working, there's a limit. So you have to find a vehicle, and then you got to find a mentor that is where you want to be, and you have to just follow exactly what that person says.
So Bells, you have gone through working in recruitment, wanting to do something so amazing for your mother. Like, I want to retire my mom.
Yeah, that's done now.
With that, you see that? I wasn't ready. You didn't give me the time to even pause.
That's done.
You've retired your mother?
Yeah, I moved her back to Nigeria. She lives in Nigeria now.
You've retired your mother?
Yeah, that's part of the journey still.
Well done. Congratulations. I have no words. I have no words. Amazing.
Yeah.
No, honestly, congratulations. I'm proud of you for doing that because that's a dream for most children, I say. But I feel that you've done that. I am so, That's amazing. So you've retired your mother, but before that, you were looking to retire your mother, and then of course you went to prison, then you came out, then you had to rebuild the empire you were building, in which you are still building, and then you finally managed to retire your mother, and now you are still building, you are still persevering,
Yep.
You're still going. What's next?
It's helping people get to my position and above. That's what really drives me the most now. When I see my people winning, that's what I get.
Do you know what? Wait, let's pause. Let's just. I'm a bit literary. I'm just gonna try something here. So you're saying help people get to where you are. So if Percy Magaya, guys, I'm not signing a contract here right now. Okay, just asking questions. If I say, Bells, okay, I'm ready, right, and I really want to work, and I put in the dedication. Could you give me a guarantee?
The first thing I'll ask you is why you want to do this. And I'll ask you what your goals are. Because that tells me everything about somebody. When my mentor first spoke to me and he asked me why I want to do this, I said, I want to retire my mum. And what most people don't realize is the desire for wanting to do something that really gets you the results. I work with a lot of people that have all the skills in the world. They could work hard if they want to, but they don't have a real desire of a reason why they want to do it. So the bigger the reason why, the more that's going to push you to want to get it done. So my mum, she raised 5 of us by herself, and I watched that growing up. So I built up a desire to want to retire her. So that got me through going to prison. It didn't matter if I was in prison. I was still growing my business from inside prison. I was still calling, making sure my leaders are okay. And so when I came out, it was like, okay, we need to get this done. So that's the first thing I'll ask you.
Cool.
But there's no guarantees. Anyone that tells you they can guarantee you anything, they're lying.
I like that.
The only guarantee is a salary.
That's an honest answer, guys. That's an honest answer. Before we end this show, because you've been amazing, we might have to bring you back because we cannot finish everything within one episode.
There's a lot.
You know, there's a lot to go through. So what is one thing that you would like to say that will be your nugget or your take home to the viewers that you believe they need to hear? Because remember, I always speak about role models is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for real models. So what's the one thing that you believe that, or one sentence or one story that you feel like they need to hear from Bells in order to continue to become or to push through or to fight through?
I'd say work on your belief system. Work on your self-image. Work on how you see yourself.
That's good.
Because no matter what, how you see yourself is how the world will see you. So now, because of the way I think and feel, it's like that energy comes across when I'm speaking to people, and people want to work with me now because there's something about this guy. It's because I've worked on my self-image and my belief system. So when you work on that, you start attracting opportunities, the right people. You start recognizing the right opportunities, and you start recognizing the right people to work with. And yeah, there's a lot to it, but that's probably the main thing.
That's the main thing. Yeah. That's amazing. You know, he is incredible. But I want to put you on blast for a moment, right? Yeah, you better. I'm gonna put you on blast because he walks in, we're getting ready to film. Then he comes, is like, "Why you still single?" And I was like, "Where are the good men?" And he's like, "They're there." So you better put out a list of the good men, because I got sisters, I got cousins.
You want to tell you what they're doing?
I've got I've got friends, and I got me. You know, we need that list wherever they are. Okay.
The good men, they're working on their craft.
But they're working, and they're working, and they're working, and they're working, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting.
You gotta find a way to you gotta find a way to add value to them somehow. But the good men are working to be
the good men are there, right? And I love what you said when you said, I'm focusing on you. Like you're focusing on yourself. In your singleness, it's about becoming. As I mentioned, ladies, singleness. It's about becoming. He ain't looking though, but it's about becoming and putting everything together. And then you already know what you want.
Yeah.
I hope you meet her because she's
that's done.
She's already been met.
No, I'm just saying it's done. It's not even
I think we need to end the show because I'm asking too many questions that are not relevant for this episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our episode. Like I said, we're coming back. How Did You Get There is literally coming back. We got so many things in store for you. But to bring it back, we had to have Bells on because, as you can tell, his story is so inspiring. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And also don't forget to subscribe to Play Africa TV. They're on iRoku TV as well. So we got so many things in store for you guys. Once more, my name is Percy Magaya and I've been joined by the amazing and handsome Bells. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Take care.
Yeah, it was too long.
I'm getting hot.
Could spill my wine breath. Once more, guys, we are back. How Did You Get There is definitely back. Thank you so much for watching the show. I am your girl, Percy Magaya, and I've been joined by Bells. I hope this story inspired you to understand that you can become regardless of what you go through. So yes, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. How Did You Get There show, and also watch us via Play Africa TV. Once more, I'm Percy Magaya, and I've been joined by Bells.